If you go vegan and you're not eating soy protein like tofu, tempeh, and seitan, you're gonna fall short.
I'm sorry, that's complete. If you want to learn all about how to develop an awesome physique or just optimize your health without harming animals or the environment, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified of new videos and live streams. So lately there's been a few vegan YouTubers, you know, ditching veganism, going back to eating animals. And people are saying, oh, it looks like really unsustainable, like, you know, everyone's fallen off the bandwagon. And what I will say is, for every one person stopping being vegan, there's 1,000 people taking on veganism. You know, it's the fastest growing social justice movement ever. The reason people stop being vegan can be manyfold. In the case of this latest one, which is Sam Oscarell, just a real basic lack of education. Now, Sam's got nearly 500,000 subscribers. Her video on why she stopped being vegan, it's got 42,000 views to date. With that sort of a voice, you know, we can do so much good in the world. We can save so many lives. The Earth's not going to be around for a whole lot longer if we keep destroying it the way we are, with animal agriculture being the #1 culprit of most of the environmental ills. Every other person, you know, will die of heart disease from eating animals. You know, it's the answer to so many things. We can do so much good. But no, people are just uneducated. And they're going to make people make a crappy choice. Not hating on Sam at all, but let's just have a look at the video.
I did go vegan January 26th, and for 10 months I was a strict vegan. Yes, I did have honey occasionally, but I was a strict vegan.
That's a little bit like saying, I'd never hurt or exploit people. There's some people that live in a certain part of the world and they all wear these yellow and black stripy jumpers, and they go to the fields toiling all week, taking the crops. I nick their fridges with all the food, and the queen of those people, I'll chop her legs off so she can't run off. But I'm a strict non-human harmer.
Diet-wise, we are still eating vegan at home, but I am being a little bit more lenient with myself. When traveling especially, we just got back from Cuba, and when I say there were no vegan options, there were no vegan options.
They basically just had meat, cheese, fish and eggs. They'd never heard of a potato. They wouldn't know what rice was. There's certainly no fruit and vegetables. And not a nut in sight. Good one.
I tried to stay away from cheese unless it was like baked into something, because cheese, when you give up cheese for a long period of time, like 10 months like I did, and then have it, not only will your stomach be really upset, but the taste is so different.
Okay, Sam, so let me explain what's happening there. Babies are meant to have milk, so they produce the enzyme lactase to digest the lactose. It's only for infants. As animals and human animals stop being babies, we're meant to be weaned off, we stop producing lactase. But, you know, if we keep having it, we'll keep producing lactase. If you've been vegan for 10 months, you've got no more lactase. I would really stop drinking that milk or eating cheese. It ain't gonna do you any good now. Plus the fact that it's got the most saturates, which leads to the #1 cause of death in humans, coronary heart disease.
What I'm changing in my diet is protein. So when I first went vegan, I was eating a lot of tofu, seitan, tempeh, stuff like that. What I've seen over time now, being plant-based for 10 months, giving it a real shot, those foods just don't work for my system. They just don't work in my body. It's really, really hard for me to digest tofu. I get stomach cramps, and then what ends up being an issue is then I don't want to eat those things. So what was happening is the last 2 months I've been falling really short with protein. And I said that in a recent video, and a lot of people were saying, wow, you must be starving yourself if you're falling short on protein.
Yep.
Actually, on a plant-based diet, it is really easy to fall short on protein if you are not eating tofu, seitan, and tempeh.
That's weird. I've never eaten seitan and very, very, very rarely eat tofu or tempeh. Do I look like I'm struggling?
So pretend I'm not eating any of those things and now think of protein. So yes, there is protein in everything, but if you think about it, okay, I have a smoothie with just fruit, maybe that's 2 grams of protein.
Put other stuff in it.
And then I add coconut milk. People are like, well, there's protein in that.
Don't add coconut milk. It's full of long-chain triglycerides and will give you heart disease. Use soy or hemp. It's got tons of protons.
And then you have a salad for lunch with like all really great things. Maybe you're now at 4.
Who just eats leaves for lunch? Eat some proper food, woman. Yes, we do need to eat some leaves for minerals, for vitamin K, etc. If that's all you're eating, you've got no chance. That's very, very stupid and like an idiotic thing to say. You know, potatoes, grains, legumes. We need tons of starch foods, loads of calories, plenty of protein.
My goal is to aim for 60 grams of protein.
Well, what's your problem then? As a nutritionist, when I write a whole foods, plant-based meal plan for an average female, they get 90 grams of protein without even trying.
My new diet is going to be all about protein.
If your new diet's all about protein and you're eating 60 grams, well, that's 240 calories. I'd say that's a tiny part of your diet unless you are seriously starving yourself.
Now, protein shakes have a good amount of protein, but the one I buy only has 20 grams. So if that gets me to 20, that's great, but then I still need to have protein throughout the day.
There's no way you need a protein shake.
For anybody wondering, how did I know I was so low on protein? Well, it started with being extremely tired.
What has protein got to do with feeling tired? I would be looking at things like iron, B12, you know, the micronutrients. I imagine you're falling short on a few of them, most probably. Sounds like you're confusing energy with sleepiness. You know, energy, we run off of glycogen, which is carbohydrate. So why not just put carbohydrate in rather than putting in excess protein and then we have to convert that into glycogen? It's just silly.
Me and Jared would be talking in the car and then all of a sudden I would doze off.
Yeah, I check your iron and B12.
Also, having a lower protein diet could end up being less muscle on your body. Your body does need protein.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to come from animal products.
So I am sticking to a more protein diet, being more aware of things that have protein in it.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Come on over to Chronometer with me. I'll show you how to do it without harming animals, hurting your own health, or damaging the environment so much. So this is a 2,000 calorie plan that I wrote up a couple of months ago. This is for an average female to maintain her body weight. You'll see it's very simple things like grains, plant milk, fruits, seeds, legumes, vegetables, and nuts. This plan provides 98.5 grams of protein. World Health Organization says for a female actually 45 grams. So that is more than double, very easily without trying. Here are the essential amino acids, vitamins and mineral levels. If you just want to check them out, you'll see that they're all well and truly covered too.
Oh my god, I have issues.
If you've enjoyed this video and you feel like it may be of benefit to others, why not help grow our wonderful community by sharing it out on your social media, and together we'll help inspire everybody to go vegan for victory.